My name is Ty, and I'm going to be showing you guys a technique where you can use your hands to heal your body. It's an energy healing technique. It's really simple, but it's very powerful, and it's one of my favorite techniques that I use on myself to heal myself, and it's actually what helped me remember my understandings of light language. It helped me remember and activate those within me by healing enough within me. So it's really simple, and it's going to build off of the last exercise that I talked about entering into stillness and then feeling energy with your hands. So it's best to get into stillness, and then it's best to activate the sensitivity in your hands, like the last video. Once you do that, it's really simple. All you need to do is sit with an erect spine, and then align your body so that your spine is straight. Sink into your hips, relax like the last techniques. If your hands are already warmed up, you're going to be sensitive. Remember, relax the jaw, relax the eyes, sink into the body, stay straight. Have your hands available. You can use one or you can use both. You can maybe start with one to see how it feels. Identify a place in your body that has pain or tension, and we'll eventually move into emotions as well. But for now, let's just work on physical issues and physical pain. Identify the spot, relax. Take your hand, put it about a foot off of your body in front of the area that has the tension or the pain, and then feel what you feel. For me, I immediately begin to feel tingles because I have a spot right now that I'm aiming towards on my back. It doesn't need to be, so for instance, if the area that you're focusing on is behind you, it doesn't make a difference. You can still reach it from the front. So with your hand limp, very relaxed, this is really important, relax, you want to be as relaxed as possible, put it in about a foot off of your body where that tension is, and then just feel it. Relax, and feel what you feel in your hand as deeply as possible. You might feel sensations like tingles, I feel like magnetic sensations, I feel tingles in my fingertips, and all you need to do is simply follow those sensations in your hand as much as possible while relaxing as deeply as possible and fully accepting it. You're not trying to change anything, you're not trying to do anything. This is a feminine way of healing. And then allow your hand to make micro adjustments and allow your body to make micro adjustments, and watch what happens.
Good advice, man. Look at this. What's going on here? This looks like a microscope view of something. What is that thing? Is that the sun or the...
This is what you look like after you come out of the crematorium. You're not ashes. After your bones cool off with this fan, your bones are taken to a grinder, which is over here, that grinds everything up. And then you're turned into that little powder that people call ashes.
So here's one for me that proves that the simulation is breaking down and it's going to another reset. And what a reset is actually a compression of the simulation, because it's mimicking Creator and the holographic universe and holographic compression of the Creator. So if you look now that they're trying to create the sentient world simulation, not trying to, already have, and the metaverse, so what they're trying to do is to create a digital synthetic reality for us to step into. So if that's playing out in the human world, and if you understand the holographic nature of the universe, that everything, this is where as above so below comes from, that everything you do in the human body is represented on all layers of the hologram. So whatever is done here is being done higher and lower. So the fact that they are creating the metaverse and have already created a form of the metaverse means that on another level, the simulation is creating another simulation. And that means that the simulation is breaking down and that it needs to form into another compression. So it just shows exactly how important the human being is and what the true divine spark and the infinite eternal being that has trapped itself intentionally through intent.
Oh, all that matters is humanity, you see? Us
Great Wall
united.
of China. This is the steepest part of the Great Wall of
You ever wonder why the Great Wall of China is so perfectly geometrically shaped? Well, it's not a wall. Check out Game of Thrones intro. Now, this is going to show you quite a bit of different Tartarian technological architecture, which are going to show you that they're engineered machines. Here you can see how pillars may have been crafted. If you engineer it properly, you don't need a lot of manpower. And it almost seems like they're showing you an order of things. So when that gear is activated, then you have this machine, which potentially could be something for harnessing electricity, because that's a tree. And trees generate electricity. The taller they are, the more electric they are. There's a lot of things about the ice wall and the Arctic Circle and forbidden area. I personally think there's something about frost, like Frosty the Snowman and Snow White, but that'll be in another video. Notice the silvery stream. Is that mercury? Check out this wall with that coin. Imagine that against the Great Wall of China / Tartaria. Okay, so now that that's activated, it then turns on another thing elsewhere, probably connected. Oh, this one is how they raised pyramids. See that rotating structure in the center? The pyramids were built from the top down because we pulled it upwards from the bottom. That's magnets and mercury creating that spin. Now here we have, what is this? It's some sort of a rotating device. You can see there's a gear. And I know this is a show, but you know, universal law states that they have to tell us somehow to avoid karma.
Ah! Oh my god, that's interesting, man. And this I think is the Great Canyon. There is something like that. The Great Canyon. Somewhere there's a lot of water. And then we see some stuff there inside the water. Some stuff that looks very creepy. And not like an ordinary fish or boat. And you really wonder what that is. You see? Oh. Oh my god, where is what creature is that? Or what tool is that? You people are bad. You know, humans are really wonderful and interesting and creative. And they can make stuff that you can come across and think they are not made by humans. You see? Not like this one here. You can find this as a result of human experiments or something like that. That's why we need honesty amongst one another, you see? So that even when people are trying out stuff out there in the desert or the waters, people can be knowing and we cannot be surprised thinking they are ghosts, you see? Or what do you think? Leave your comments, man. And then here there is some footage showing how maybe the Great Ice Wall looks like. And it's like there is something beyond that, you see? Some stuff built there like portals or something like that. Wow, wow, wow. Hey, people from the past are really creative or intelligent. Or those people beyond the ice wall. Well, because now, how did they get there in the first place? And build this stuff that don't look like nothing here or not, you see? And you wonder what has been really going on. We should always be generating good vibes and loving one another, you see? Being honest and forgiving. And just caring for your neighbor as you do for yourself. That way people wouldn't hide information from one another.
Oh, you know what I saw today on the internet that blew my fucking mind?
I love it.
Google the amount of churches that are in the United States. This is crazy. I was on my car ride this morning. The amount of churches in the United States. Guess, look at me. Guess before you see it. How many churches are in the United States, do you think?
Oh my God. I mean,
I know it's tough, but guess.
it's a hard one.
Don't look.
Don't
Okay,
look.
Okay.
How many churches do you think exist? Just for perspective, there are, Google this, I think there's 15,000 McDonald's. How many McDonald's in the United States? This will give you perspective. McDonald's, because you see McDonald's
So
everywhere.
much. Starbucks
McDonald's
too.
in the United
Starbucks
States.
too.
McDonald's currently has 36,000 restaurants in 100 countries. That's the world. In the United States, 14,000 McDonald's. And they look like they're fucking
everywhere.
14,000.
Yeah.
In the whole United States.
Yeah.
How many churches?
It can't be as much as that.
Guess.
12,000.
350,000. 350,000.
Oh, you all congregations.
I said churches.
I was thinking about just like, you know what I mean?
Well, it's not
Zoroastrianism.
No. But look at that. Okay, so of those, 314,000 are Protestant or Christian. So yeah, it's almost all.
How many are Christian?
314, the majority, the dominant majority.
Shit, dude.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh my God. Oh. Please, let's search God and love one another. See? If God is love, then we can find God within ourselves. And we can always generate love in some godly way. That way we can all unite and be godly, full of good vibes. You see? What is that? Is that a sphinx somewhere else in the mountains or in the woods there? That is hidden and another pyramid or something like that? Oh my God. What are these things now? How I've never heard of them before, and you wonder how they exist. You see? This is creepy, man. What people of us? Where do you think those stuff came from? Yeah. What animal is that?
Let's put some land in here. Some land, right? Let's put some, you see this little tiny one? Let's put a little tiny piece of land there. This is all like earth and water. This is all different waters. And plus here, this is our land. Look at the United States there. That's South America. That's the ice crater there, right? But this has more. Let's see. This has another layer right here. This is a bigger, according to all these, I'm drawing this bigger so we can see and concentrate here. So here we probably have another layer of ice there, another round layer with openings too. It's probably opening here. I know definitely there's an opening on the wall right below South America. There's a little cut right there that you can get out of.
Facts.
There's another one up here that I'm watching too. So when this, you see these walls are 400 foot high. So whatever comes here, these are the four corners of the earth, right there, right there, right there, right there, right? And now here, there's probably lands here. There's another piece of land there. Who knows? There's another piece of land there. There's another land there, right? All right. So all these craters, this is probably, from here to here is probably 60,000. And I'm just drawing in perspective so we can get it. Okay. So now, this is inside. I want you to see all these craters, right? We're looking on top of the water, right? We're looking on top of, these are lily pads, but these are craters. And then it goes into water and then some other land, right? And then over here, there's another, this one is probably not ice. This is probably land ring. This is just ice because there's something happening, because there's something going on here. Remember, we are the center. This is the center of the universe. So the hyperbola starts here, and I'm going to show you. And that's why the sun crosses right in the middle, because the cell is shrinking. Let me explain why the sun is doing an elliptical figure 8. Okay. All right. So now this is where we live. Okay. Now, if you notice, it's a complete circle. That's a cell. This is a living cell that fluctuates. Now, this cell probably has portals. A portal, right? Probably. And then it's probably connected to another one over there, really far away. Another portal that's connected to this one. And then that's connected to that one over there. But that's connecting to one over there. But then there's another circle here. This is a different web. This is a different web that we live in, because everything is so above, light below. What am I drawing? Like, look what this looks like. It looks like neurons, right? That are connected. But guess what? We live in a giant neuron, but it's a bubble that's half full of water that's living. So this all here, this is dense water that is hitting this firmament, dense water. This is different waters all the way around. So you see right now, the way this lays is this cell that we live in is only half full of water. So when we see it, it does this, right? So that cell is, these are the foundations of this earth, because if there's waters and waters, because these are the waters that God separated from above. Okay, these are the waters that God separated from below. You have a bubble. This is a separation. And then the scripture said, in those waters were more waters. These are the more waters, right? These are the more waters. So here, and if you get any cell, you get a nucleus. Like,
Oh man. Do you think that is true?
these are the more waters. So here, and if you get any cell, you get a nucleus. Like if you blow a little bubble, right? If you blow a little bubble, right, with the, let a little thing, you know, with a little jar, right? You blow a little bubble, right? You blow a little bubble here, and it's like, so that little bubble, when it forms, there's a nucleus right in the middle, a static nucleus. You don't see it, but it's magnetic. So it's a nucleus that's keeping that bubble in circles. But what is the pressurized ether? There's a pressurized ether in here. So this is fractal fluid. So whatever comes out turns spherical. Even smoke, when smoke appears, it's spherical. You just can't see it, but they're little smoke, little bubbles, tiny little specks of spheres. So anything in this water, that the air that you breathe, turns spherical. So that's why everything is spherical, right? So a bubble has a nucleus, a static, until it blows up and there's nothing else. So always an enclosed container has static, right? So now we have here, we live in this cell. There's a nucleus here, right? There's always a nucleus in an enclosed container. In static, in Tupperware, in a laundry, there's always a static there's always static. So this thing is probably underwater here, but here, this is our crater here in the middle. This is where we live, right? And now I'm gonna draw a big center hole because that's the inertia. So our land is around the hole of other lands. So we are in the center right here. Then there's other craters. There's other craters, right? Now I'm gonna show you everything here. I got a little time to spare. Okay, these are all the lands, the extra lands. You see what I'm doing? These are the extra lands right here. Oh, thousands of them, probably thousands upon thousands. And I wanna point this out. You see these little craters? These are, what do you call the cathedral buildings? The cathedral churches have the glass. What is that called when it forms the vibrational frequency figure?
Oh. Good vibes, man.
There's no such thing as other planets or outer space. I believe the planets are actually just fallen angel beings, and I'm about to show you. So we know, according to scripture, stars are angels, angels are stars. We know that we all live under God's firmament. There's no such thing as outer space. So all the stars or angels are inside the firmament. Right? According to Revelation, the 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, right? So we know stars are angels. Right? We know 1/3 of the stars of heaven, or the angels, fell, right? They disobeyed God. These are known as the fallen, right? Now the book of Ezekiel gives us a description of what some of these angels look like. As for their appearances, they four had one likeness, as if a wheel had been in the midst of a wheel. So a wheel inside of a wheel. This is a picture of Mars captured by the Nikon P1000 camera. What do you see? A wheel inside of a wheel. Now you can go find a bunch of Greek and Roman gods that actually have the same names as the planets. They were named after them. Because they're not actually planets, the false gods are really just fallen angels in disguise. This stuff is no joke, you can go look it up. Why do you think they had us building these solar system projects in school, trying to get us to memorize all these names? We were giving false idolization to these false gods. Right, and they gave us hints, right? Some of them actually do look like wheels inside of wheels, but this is fake. It's not what they actually look like. These are the true photos of what these so-called planets actually look like. They're all wheels inside of wheels. These are the fake ones. Now these are some pictures of stars as well that have the same exact appearance, just normal stars. Alright, so what God has ordained for these angels is to move in this circuit type fashion around the earth, right? Right, so if there was certain of these stars or these angels not moving in this circuit, they'd basically be disobeying him, right? Which is what the planets are, wandering stars. I believe they are part of the fallen, which is why they are connected to all these Roman and Greek false gods. I believe he gave us a hint at this in the book of Jude. Raging waves of the sea, foaming out of their own shame. Wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. Why are these wandering stars or those wandering angels so shameful? Probably because they disobeyed him. You know what you guys think about this one? Don't forget to like and follow to stay tapped in with the truth, and I'll see you in the next one.
Oh, well, a lot of things going on, man. Good vibes. People are saying stuff that we need to analyze here.
Prison planet psyop going on.
Hello, I'm the Bush Whisperer. I'm the local shaman here from Boulders Beach, southern tip of Africa, Simonstown, Cape Town. Respect to the wonderfully articulate and intelligent lady that's obviously done a lot of research. Compliments to the chef, as it were. I'd love to add to what was said. There's going to be a couple of videos. So the first chapter is here. Responding to, are we living on a prison planet? What is this reality? I'm going to start off by looking at the history a little bit. There are ancient stories that can be found, and they are all over. The texts are in Syrian, in Hebrew, Paleo-Hebrew, in Greek, in Sanskrit versions. These texts are to be found all around the world. From a book called the Ogia. The Ogham ruins come from the Ogia. So there's a Norse tradition connection there as well. Anyway, the story of the Ogia is this, that there were 200 beings that took form. And the Greek story, the Greek version calls them the Gregoria. So let's call them the Gregoria for now. So these Gregoria were extra-dimensional beings, part of the angelic kingdom, as they were known in the Syrias, for example. And they took form, and they were not able to procreate. They were not able to evolve. They were being left behind because the time stream here was running at a different direction to their time stream. It's an interesting concept. But they were not from here, so they were having issues. They were basically getting left behind. And the solution came to them that they could mix their genetics with ours. In the process of mixing their genetics with ours, some of them changed. Some of them became power hungry. Those that were affected by this place, according to the Vedas, I'm going to jump around so you can see just how universal the story is. In the Vedas, they were called the Asuras. And the Asuras were some of the Devas and the Devis that basically lost their divinity to this place and started to become enticed by the desire body and the world to be fulfilling their desires here. These then created the Rakshas. The Rakshas were the monstrous beings, the monsters, giants. The Rakshas were considered cruel and often had harsh intent towards humans. There were some that sided with the humans. You can find this in the Vedic pantheon. Understanding Rudra and the Rudra's involvement with certain Rakshas that were considered good to humans. These are ancient stories can be found in all around the world. So these Rakshas were called Yakshas in other parts of the world. If you go to Syria, they were called Yakshas, for example. And the Yakshas are basically the Anakim. And the Anakim, this is the Paleo-Hebrew tradition of the story. The Anakim are the children of the Nephilim. The Nephilim were the response, what was created by the genetic hybridization of the humans with these beings. So these beings creating this hybrid story ended up fighting a big war over humanity. Some of them wanted to save us, some of them wanted to enslave us. The same story can be found in the Celtic tradition. The same story is found in the sagas of the Norse tradition, the Germanic tribes. And in the Vedas, it's a universal story. In the Native American lands, the same story can be found. And there the giants were said to actually be eating human flesh. The Aboriginal stories from Australia and New Zealand tell the same story. And China. So what we've got here are remnants of a very ancient story of how humans were engineered. And it's basically the Sumerian story being told. And the same story from Sumeria obviously was told in Arcadia. So Enki was known as Ea in Arcadia. Ea became Ya to the Paleo-Hebrews. Ea. And this, in the ancient Greeks, was Ea, Zeus, Jesus. So that's where the name comes from. It's part of a Mithras tradition, worship, ancient Greek roots of spiritual gnosis of sorts. And so you can see these universal names and stories have moved throughout all of our cultures. And we're speaking a language here which is Indo-European, which is probably 70 to 80% of Sanskrit, as are all the Indo-European languages, just to give you an insight into how universal our history is. So we can understand that these beings had a great war, and in some traditions, Shamyaza, with the help of 3 others, defeated them. Shamyaza had managed to trick them and get the name of the Tetragrammaton. The first part of that name is Ea. See? This is the name of Enki, mystic name of Enki. So these beings were then vanquished and they were thrown into a etheric portal within the earth where they were trapped. And their children, the Rakshas, or the Anakim, the giants, were slain, and they also, having lost their bodies, were trapped in this etheric prison of sorts. Rudolf Steiner calls this the 8th sphere. It's called the Duat, or the abyss from Kabbalistic lore. And so these beings being trapped there wanted to engage with humans. And they had engineered many humans' bloodlines to be having a lot of their blood. So now you see where royalty comes from. They enslaved us using royalty. And using royalty, they used conditioning, education, schooling, in various different ways, money, to ensnare the human race into a particular pattern of thinking. Why is this important? Well, you've got 3 different realms. From a shamanic perspective, when you enter into true reality, there is the divine reality, there is the underworld, and then there is the world of transition between the two, which is the balancing harmonic sphere between these 2 levels of being. And that these 3 come together, and what is produced is this dream time, which is a dream, a fantasy. In the Vedic schools, we call this dream Maya. The ancient Himalayan shamans, which is the tradition I was trained in, we call it the Maya. So this Maya became what we use as reality. Now, the reason this is important is because the brain, the pineal gland, which governs all the electrical processes in the body, in the same way that the pituitary gland governs all the hormonal processes, largely. The emotional intelligence, the pituitary. The rational intelligence, the pineal. Pineal is attached to the thalamus, as the pituitary is attached to the hypothalamus. And all information from the senses has to be routed through the thalamus, where it is recoded into a different proverbial language. The language is then sent through the cerebral cortex, where it goes to the parietal lobes, where the dream of reality is manufactured. This dream of reality, according to neuroscience, is between 2 and 4 seconds in the past. So we are living 2 to 4 seconds in the past of true reality in our minds, in this so-called reality that we call reality. Something to think about. Someone throws a ball and you catch it. You actually caught the ball between 2 and 4 seconds before your hand grabbed the ball, before your realization of that exact moment. So we are definitely living in a delusion. The delusion of the Maya is because of the way that we are allowing our brains to control reality instead of just being a tool, in not inducting true consciousness through the etheric field. And the etheric field is within the astral field, and the astral field is within the causal field, the three worlds of the shaman. Atzilut, Bria, and Yetzira. And they come together in Isya. That's the Isya is this goof that we're living in, this physical representation of reality. So in a sense, we are living in a false matrix. And the false matrix is only false because it's an echo of reality happening 2 to 4 seconds after the true reality is happening. Hence, we are able to do miracles when we enter into true reality, because we can see the actual confluence of forces and manipulate alchemically the state of being through the consciousness field and the way that it's manipulating this state of experience. It's a two-way channel, shall we say. So we're able to affect the forces of being in this way. So it's very important to understand that yes, we are in a prison planet, but a prison planet's been created in our minds by us. And yes, there are beings that are affecting those powers on Earth and have been manipulating us for thousands of years. But at the same time, we're also free, and this world is also beautiful. I will be sending another video to the next bit.
Okay, that's a lot of information, man. Good vibes. So thank you very much for watching up to this far. You've been with me, your host, Y311H. See, generating and spreading good vibes and love all the way. Please kindly leave your thoughts of what to think about all those videos. Like that video that good vibes guy was talking about other people's, other creatures' intervention in humanity and beginning of humanity. It doesn't matter. All that matters is this present moment that we are in right now. And because we are all on this earth like humans from different sides of the world, the best thing to do during this time is to unite, love one another, be forgiving and caring to your neighbor. You see, that way we can all have a good vibes, love world, and even know where we came from. You see, thank you very much. You are loved and respected. You see, someone once said that the happiness in your life, you see, is equal to the quality of your thoughts. So if you have good vibes thoughts, thinking about love and good vibes and helping people, being forgiving, you will always be happy in this life. You see, and no matter the challenges that we encounter in life, we will always endure, because the challenges that we face today are the ones that give us strength for tomorrow. You see, much love to yourself. Always hit the like button and stick around for some good vibes episode that will be coming soon. Peace and love be with you, man. Goodbye. Till next time.